Good day, everyone. This is Miss I, and welcome to our reading and writing subject. So, for today, we will be discussing lesson 5. This is about text structures. And for our objectives for today, first is we will going to define the definition or the meaning of text structure. The next one, we will be discussing the purposes and advantages of text structure. And lastly, is the kinds of text structures. Okay, so authors don't just write their ideas in any order. Okay, so you as a student, you knew or somehow you have an idea that when you are thinking of a particular topic, you don't just write it. No, we don't usually use free writing. Okay, the one that we've discussed in our previous lessons. Instead, we organize our writing in an order that our readers will easily understand. Even for us who are not proficient writers or tenor, not even for the beginner writer, we don't just write our ideas in any order. Okay, we write it in a way that the readers, whenever they read it, they would easily understand. Okay, so what is text structure? So every time that a writer or an author writes a particular text, so there is a purpose behind it. Okay. Now, for the writer to be able to accomplish or reach that goal, he or she needs to organize his or her ideas in a manner wherein the readers could understand the text better. Okay. So basically, that way of organizing the information within the text that is referred to as text structure. Okay, so now it has its purposes and advantages. The first one is it aids to comprehend the purpose of the writing. What do we mean by that? So if a text structure is used automatically, the readers would understand why is the writer even wrote this piece or this text in the first place. Okay, so what was the purpose? What was the goal? Is it to give information? Is it to entertain? Is it to persuade the readers and so on and so forth? Okay. So using a particular text structure or text structures, this helps to understand that one. Okay. So the second one, it helps pinpoint information being searched without any difficulty. Okay. So since you already know the purpose of a particular text as a reader, or even as a writer, it would be easy for you to locate certain pieces of information you already know. Okay, so where it could be found, right? Because it followed a certain structure or a particular text structure. And the third one, it also helps develop a common understanding about how to communicate successfully in different situations. No, katulad ng nabanggit ko kanina, it serve a specific purpose. Okay, so therefore, you already know how to make your readers understand particular things or particular ideas. Okay, so developing a common understanding between the writer and the reader. All right, so now we have these kinds of text structures. Okay, we have eight: the narrative, description, classification or exemplification, comparison, cause and effect, problem solution, persuasion, and sequence or chronological. So we'll go over this one by one. Let's start with narrative. Okay. So narrative, basically, this is a type of text structure that tells a story. Okay. So as we all know, in a story, usually when we read stories, its main purpose or its main goal is to entertain the readers. Right? Okay. So now, if it follows a narrative text structure, if a text follows this narrative text structure, then it usually includes elements such as the characters, setting, problem, resolution. Okay. So once you read that, you can easily identify, no? Halimbawa, oy, merong characters dito sa storya. There is a place, merong setting, there is a particular time kung saan at kailan nangyari, no? There is a problem. Okay, so just like what I've mentioned before, na kapag storya, meron at meron yung problema. no? Na of course, kailangan solusyonan. So, all of those elements, no, kung mapapansin ninyo, kung nakita nyo na yung character, yung setting, may problem, may resolution. So, if you find those elements, that means that you are reading a narrative text structure. Or all of those elements are present in a narrative text structure. Okay, so let's take a look at this example. Learning how to ride a bike for the first time was a nerve-wracking independent moment. I was about 5 years old when my sister informed me that I was too old to still be riding a bike with training wheels. That was the time I decided not to depend on them anymore. Even though I had some doubt, my sister and I went outside and started to take the little wheels off my bike. After my bike went through the transformation, I was now ready for the big moment. With butterflies in my stomach, I slowly got on the bike, and with my shaky hands, I gripped the handles tightly. Meanwhile, my sister was holding on to me to help keep my balance. I was so afraid that she would let go. Yet, I was determined to ride this bike on my own. Okay, so this is an example of narrative text structure. All right, let's proceed with the next one. So our second text structure is description. So for description, it's simply a type of text structure that gives out information that is describing a scene, a person, or an object. Okay, so it includes qualities about a particular scene, or person, or an object. Its general structure is a list of attributes or facts, and usually it uses adjectives, no? Sa pagkakaalam naman natin, as we all know, adjectives are words that we use to describe nouns or persons or objects or places or things. Okay, so for a description, here's an example. It was a cold, gray day in late November. The weather had changed overnight. When a bucking wind brought a granite sky and a muzzling rain with it, and although it was now only a little after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the pallor of a winter evening seemed to have closed upon the hills, cloaking them in mist. Okay, if you would have noticed the use of adjectives, no, highlight dyan yung pagkakadescribe sa mga scenes, sa object. Okay, so that's description text structure. The third one, we have classification or exemplification. Root words natin dito for classification is classify, and for exemplification, it's exemplify. Exemplify. Okay, so when we mean classify, we are simply trying to figure out where this particular idea belongs to. When we are defining exemplify naman, when we are talking about exemplify, we are giving out examples. No? So for this type of text structure, we are simply providing examples, solid support, and strong evidence to prove a particular point. We are just listing down supporting details. Okay? It often uses specific and vivid examples for the purpose of adding more information to explain, persuade, define, or illustrate a general idea. So, for this type of text structure, there are a lot of purposes that it could serve. But the main idea here is that instead of just talking about the particular concept or that particular idea, no, it provides strong support. So it contains a lot of supporting details that make the readers better understand what that particular idea or topic is all about. Okay, so ang tatandaan nyo lang kapag classification or exemplification, we provide supporting evidences and other examples. Okay, so we have this example. Let me read this to you. People looking to lose weight have a few options: exercise, diet, weight loss pills, and surgery. Exercising involves going to a gym, working out at home, or joining some sort of class or sports team. Those who are dieting can talk to a doctor, no doctor yon, about a plan for them. Weight loss pills can be taken if proper precautions and directions are followed. Individuals who are severely overweight can talk to a doctor, again, that's doctor, about having surgery to lose weight that they need. Okay, if you would have noticed, no, nagbigay dito ng examples or ng options sa mga tao na nagbabalak magbawas ng timbang. No, nabanggit ang exercise, pwede daw exercise, pwedeng diet, pwedeng weight loss pills, and pwedeng surgery. Then in-expound kung paanong magagamit yung mga yon, yung mga supporting details na yon in losing weight. Okay? So the next one we have comparison. Okay, we already talked about the meaning of comparison in our previous discussion. Again, when we say comparison, we are simply describing how two or more events, places, characters, or other ideas may be similar and or different in multiple ways. Okay? Nagbibigay tayo ng similarities, pinagkakatulad, at nagbibigay tayo ng differences or pinagkakaiba. Okay? So basically, you are just giving out the similarities and differences between two or more ideas or topic. Here's our example. No, based from the photo I included, orange and apple. So related dito yung example natin. Apples and oranges are both fruits, which means that they have seeds inside of them. Each has a skin, but orange skins are thick and easy to peel. Apple skins are thinner and do not peel easily. Oranges also contain more acid than apples, but both fruits are delicious. Okay? For the similarities, nabanggit natin na parehas itong merong buto sa loob. Nabanggit din natin na parehas na masarap na mga prutas. Okay? So for the differences, ang category natin is sa skin. Ang orange ay makapal at mabilis balatan, no? Kumpara sa mansanas na mas manipis yung balat at hindi siya ganong kabilis balatan. And another difference between the two is ang oranges ay nagko-contain or mas maraming acid kumpara sa apples. Okay, again, in comparison, we are giving out the similarities and differences of two ideas, right? So the next one, we have this text structure, cause and effect. So in here, it includes several reasons why a certain event occurred or several effects that resulted from a cause or multiple causes you are trying to figure out. Okay, so what caused this particular action or what caused this particular event? What could be the result of this particular event? Okay, so basically, when we are using the cause and effect text structure, we are trying to figure out the reasons why certain things happen. Okay. Additionally, we are also trying to figure out why do certain things happen. So we have here this example. Many people think that they can get sick by going into cold weather improperly dressed. However, illnesses are not caused by temperature, they are caused by germs. So, while shivering outside in the cold probably won't strengthen your immune system, you're more likely to contract an illness indoors because you will have a greater exposure to germs. Okay? So, here's our next text structure, problem solution. So, in problem solution text structure, there is a problem that needs to be identified. Okay? And then after identifying that particular problem, you need to provide possible solutions for it. Okay? And therefore, with those possible solutions, you can also identify or write down possible results. Now, for this type of text structure, once you have seen that it identified a problem, or once you have read that it identified a certain problem, and then you found solutions under it or supporting that problem, then it could be classified as the problem solution text structure. Let's have this example. In the early 1800s, the United States needed room to grow. The problem was most people lived in the East. The cities were crowded, new land was expensive. Young families couldn't afford to buy farms. Okay? So, second sentence pa lang, nabanggit na agad yung problem. Okay? Then, as a solution, the United States government purchased land from France. The government also acquired land from Mexico. Soon the country stretched all the way to the Pacific Ocean. People looked to the setting sun with outstretched arms and said, "Go west." Settlers rode in wagons or on horses. They followed long, dusty trails across hot plains for thousands of miles. There was no shelter. People slept in tents on the ground. They had to watch out for wild animals like wolves and snakes. The trip west could take months. Then a railroad was built that stretched from the east coast almost to the west coast. The railroad made travel faster. More people poured into the new lands. The settlers quickly built small towns without the farming, fishing, and mining were good. All right. So we have noticed the problem as well as the solution or probable solutions given. Okay. So for our next structure, we have persuasion. In a persuasive text structure, this tries to convince readers to take a certain opinion or perform a certain action. Okay, so if you would remember our activity pushy salesperson, no, you are trying to persuade me as one of your consumers, no, na kahit unwanted na yung mga items na ibinebenta, na pinipili ko kayo ng isa out of six unwanted items, is you still tried, no, you brainstorm and try to sell that particular item. Okay, so that's a kind of um persuasion activity. Another thing when we are talking about persuasive type of text structure is that you are trying to influence the way that you think, the way that you believe things. You are trying to influence other people to think the same, not to believe the same. Okay, it is used to influence, like what I have mentioned, influence or persuade others in any possible form. But in here, it's a text structure, and you are trying to make people believe you. No, you are trying to convince them. Okay, so here's an example. Immigration contributes to the overall health of the American economy. Despite recent concerns expressed about illegal and some legal immigration to the United States, this country has largely benefited from the skills, talents, and ambition that immigrants bring with them. American businesses gain from a good source of affordable labor, while towns and cities are revitalized by immigrant families who strengthen communities through civic participation and the generation of new economic activity. The United States must continue to welcome new arrivals and help those who are already here. Otherwise, the country will lose the advantages it has over other industrialized countries that compete against us in the global marketplace and seek to recruit from a vast pool of unskilled and skilled global workers. All right, again, this is an example of persuasion type of text structure. And now we're down with the last one, which is sequence or chronological. Okay, so when we say sequence or chronological, this type of text structure simply lists down a series of events that lead to a conclusion or a sequence of events related to a particular event. Okay, so usually this type of text structure presents different steps and specific orders. Okay, so take for example, just like writing essays, no, there are some cases that they present how to do certain things in a chronological manner. Okay, merong time order that we have to follow or time element. Okay, so you might be wondering, what's the difference between sequence or chronological? Two narrative, no? The difference between the two. In narrative, it could also be arranged in a chronological manner. Okay, also following a certain time order. Now, remember that for each text structure, they serve a different purpose. So for narrative text, its purpose or its main goal is to entertain. Okay? Kung tatandaan nyo, yun yung may story. No? Settings, characters, problem, resolution. Okay? That's narrative text structure. However, for sequence and chronological, its main goal is to inform. Okay? To give information on how to do certain things. For example, may binili kang laptop ay printer na lang. Sige, may binili kang printer and hindi mo alam kung paano pa mag-print, no? Meron diyang self-help book or guide ng mechanics kung paano nga ba yung tama or step-by-step procedure and how to use the printer successfully. Okay? Okay, so here's an example. Eating cereal is easy. First, get out your materials or get your materials. Next, pour your cereal in the bowl, add milk, and enjoy. Okay? Kitang-kita natin yung step-by-step procedure. No? Very simple. Okay, so that's it for today's discussion. If you have any questions or concerns, you may message me in our GC. And thank you for spending your time with me at the end of our online class discussion. That's it for today. Thank you and goodbye.